Greetings, everyone. This is Vandana and
Zachary Michael. Hi, guys.
thanks for joining us on our Facebook Live party, our party of consciousness. And we just want to take a moment to kind of just sit and ground and just come back to our bodies and just really appreciate the gift of ourselves and each other. And we can just send a blessing and strength and encouragement to all sentient beings in this moment. Let's take a moment and do that, and we'll just be silent for the next 60 seconds. Just following and listening to your breath, your in breath and your out breath, and notice what's happening and scan your body for anywhere that it needs some love, kindness, and attention, and just kind of land your hands down like energy magnets or heating pads. You can warm them up and just place them to the parts of you that hurt or that feel numb or frozen. And this goes out, this call is dedicated to all highly sensitive, energy sensitive, intuitive, psychic, different, unusual, special, quirky, amazing, creative, artsy, and all of the people who are just willing to be themselves. Coming back to your field, your soul energy, inviting your mind to return, your busy mind, the one that's just wanting to escape and fly all over the universe, trying to feel safe and okay in this reality. Just invite all those parts of you back, including all your amazing gifts. So you could be of service just by being yourself, by being you. And coming back to your energy, your field, and just being aware of that safety net around you, above, below you, and all around you. And we're just going to take a moment to check in. And Zach and I would love to find out what's happening for you, what your experience living as an empath is in the present. We're not going to go to the past or the future because that would take a long time. But this is just a quick gentleness break or a check-in. It's good to check in with ourselves just to make sure that we haven't kind of picked up or taken in, swallowed, or really absorbed like a sponge the energy of the people that live with us, that we work with, and the thoughts and the feelings that don't belong to us. And we're going to do a little guided energy process, somatic body process in just a few minutes. But first, if you'd like to just chat in your name and where you live, what's happening for you, and why you felt guided to join this Sovereign Empath community. So let me put on my glasses so we could actually read the comments here. Hey Steve,
Hi.
you can unmute your mic because you're on Zoom and we're also, streaming
Oh,
here.
yes, definitely.
Hello from Minnesota, is that? Muskie,
Muskegon?
Muskegon?
Muskegon? Muskegon
Muskegon?
is
I didn't want to mess it up.
Manistee. Visiting Muskegon. Okay,
Ah,
cool.
Muskegon. It's Muskegon.
Muskegon.
I'm
Muskegon,
visiting
thank
Thank you,
family
you.
here.
Destiny.
Duh, we
Yeah.
totally botched that up. Okay, so
No, it's
glad.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm from
And what was that? Were you saying something
from
and you got muted or?
I am visiting family in Muskegon, but I live in
Oh,
Tennessee.
oh, cool.
I
Very
love
cool.
that.
So let's just talk. Let's just have a nice kind of coffee clutch. I think they used to call it that, right? Just kind of sitting together and with our cup of tea or coffee
Mm,
or whatever your favorite beverage is, hopefully a healthy choice. And Zach and I, before we went on the air,
yeah.
uh, we were talking about what it means to be an empath. Can you just recap a little bit and um, remind me, dear Zachary, what we wanted to share today and how important it felt when that conversation came up just a few minutes ago? Because I told you I probably wouldn't remember.
That's okay. Yeah, totally. Vandana was talking about this idea that as empaths, there's different frequencies of how we show up as empaths in the world. There are all these like really amazing high frequency, like we're new earth leader vibes. And also like when we're down here in like the 3D dimensions, it can be really traumatic to be an empath. And the sensitivity we feel that it can be on a wide range of hypersensitive to numb, depending on
Mhm.
how we respond to life and how life is conditioned around us. And this journey of becoming consciously sensitive is like it's a journey we're all on. And she was talking about the importance of well, she brought up her upcoming class, which was
Mhm.
empaths and narcissists, and this idea of the relationship between people who are less sensitive and people who are
Mhm.
more sensitive, and kind of this idea of our kind of collective journey of becoming conscious of how we really show up in our lives and how that clarifies our sensitivity and how that can be varying. Everyone's story as an empath is very different, and we experience a lot more extremes than the rest of the collective because of our high sensitivity, from being like really ungrounded and like numb, like feeling nothing, to being like really like angry and hypersensitive and addictions and stuff like that, using that to kind of like try to find some kind of homeostasis. And what's coming to
Mhm.
me especially is like, we're not taught consciousness in our societies. So when you're a highly sensitive empath and you're feeling all these extremes, people just call you crazy and then put you in this box. And it's not easy as an empath to define an identity of consciousness when you're kind of being imprinted with all of these assumptions that you're crazy, you're overwhelming, you're too dramatic, when ironically you're just feeling more reality than the average person, which isn't better or less. It just means you're feeling more of the fact that life is a lot of things at once. And coming to this call, it's a journey. And this idea of community, there it is. The idea of us coming together in community as
Mhm.
people who are all on a similar wavelength of sensitivity and consciousness is really powerful because we get to regulate together. I even feel it in my feet. As I say, I feel my feet pooling with so much energy and grounding me, even saying like we can come together and no one's going to call you crazy here. No one's going to call you hypersensitive because we all feel this similarly, the similar wavelengths. So, and having that space to come back and replenish with that common reality is so key.
And I think as a as a highly sensitive empath, I was always told as a child that I'm too sensitive, and that made me feel wrong and bad and less than. That there was actually something wrong with being sensitive. And, I mean, fast forward to, the last 10 or 20 years of my life doing all the inner work and still doing it, which is really a lifelong process to kind of deprogram from, all of the misunderstandings and just feeling like I'm, really different and I shouldn't be myself. So come to realize that, we still carry those programs and those beliefs, those thoughts and feelings and other people's energies that get locked up and frozen in our bodies. And parts of us, the gifted parts of us, the creative, um, joyful, peaceful parts of us have kind of gone into exile or into hiding, like in internal family systems. You could think of it as like we have all these different parts that are crying for our attention, but we tend to stuff, all of the amazing parts of our true selves, our, sort of greater selves, in the basement, right? And we put a lock and key because we were told like not to be ourselves, or we were too little or too much growing up. So I think it's really important to create a space for all the parts of us so they could all get along, right? And inside of us, but also to continuously practice self-care and spiritual hygiene, and whether it's with Reiki, or any other kind of therapeutic touch or energy healing modality, and take time every moment. Not every moment, that would probably be too much, but every morning and every evening, just to do that check in, to place your hands on yourself, to breathe into those parts that you've been denying or hiding from, and really take some nice, deep, slow breaths to regulate your nervous system, to down regulate it, right? Because we never were taught, most of us at least, how to calm ourselves down and how to feel like okay. So we tend to go into this catastrophizing where it's like distorted. It's like these distorted points of view that we still hold on to. So it's like all or nothing, or that person's good, that person's nice, but that other person is not. And so we have to get out of that we have to like recognize like, okay, these are parts of me that happen as a result of my childhood upbringing, as a result of repeated stress or trauma, whether it's small traumas or really big traumas or recurring traumas, and that includes abandonment, rejection, shaming, neglect, and a lot more, and all forms of abuse. So we want to just say, yeah, we want to get out of denial. And that's why we're here. We want to just say, yeah, that happened, but that's not me. And that's not my true identity. And I don't have to play the role of victim and all the other roles that I was actually forced into growing up in a really dysfunctional household. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So that's why it's really important not to isolate, because I would say like a traumatized empath, who takes on the weight of the world and the worries and anxieties of the collective and the pain, I would say, of the collective, um, should come together. And I don't like to use the word should, but in this case, I guess it applies. It's a good idea. It's a good idea to come together and gather in community, grieve in community, feel all of those unprocessed, undigested feelings in community, so that we could all feel seen and heard and cherished for all of our strengths, and for all the courage it has taken us to survive everything that we've been through, everything that we've lived through and been exposed to. And as a result of all that, we're still here. So that's a cause to celebrate. I think that's a good enough reason to celebrate. And you don't have to keep, feeling the way you did. You don't have to keep repeating those stories. You could drop them and you could just be yourself, and it's never too late, So that's the beauty, I think, of gathering in community, because then it's kind of like a safe place, right? And if you don't have a safe person or a go-to person, whether it's a therapist, a trusted friend, an advisor, a counselor, then this is why we need each other in community, so we could feel safe being seen and also heard. So we could kind of feel like, oh, our needs are important. Like, oh, you felt that way. I also had a similar experience. I thought it was just me. And you could really unburden yourself in these types of communities. So that's all I'm going to say for now, Zach. Or anyone else, go ahead and chime in. You could take yourself off your microphone, just unmute your mic if you want to like say anything at all, or just we'd love to hear your voice, because that's also kind of important. That fear, or that the belief that, oh, it's safer for me to just be invisible and be in the background instead of really fully participating. So whatever you have to say is really important to us and deserves to be heard. Anyone?
He's coming.
Hi, Virginia. Hello.
Hi.
Hello there. How are you? Thanks
Good.
for coming.
Oh, thank you. And inviting me.
Awesome. I'm glad you're here. You made it.
Yes,
So
very.
do you identify as a HSP, or highly sensitive person, and an empath?
Yes.
And how has that been working for you or not working for you all this time?
Oh, it's 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 pretty rough.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been so sensitive to
Hmm.
things. Uh,
Yeah. And that's natural and understandable after all of the life experiences that you've accumulated, that you would often feel overwhelmed or out of your body, or you know out of your mind, right? So
yes.
it's a starting point. It's like, it's okay, because that's what happens. I mean, there's no other way it could have been based on your past, but you can change going forward how you respond. Instead of labeling yourself the way you see yourself, or judging yourself with that inner critic part of you that sometimes takes over and shouts at you, instead of being that reactor, you could ease into a new role of being an actor. So a responder or an actor instead of a reactor, and that
Yes.
also, that everyone has their own story, their own experiences, their own history that have actually nothing to do with you or me, and so it's too painful to live a life, and it's not necessary to live in prison, like to feel that we have no choice and that we don't deserve to be happy, and that has to that can change, when you gather in community. That's joyful in itself. It's the connection that we're missing, because chances are you might have grown up in a household or a family that also isolated themselves, and maybe were brought up by caregivers who were like wounded adult children themselves, and never learned how to how to honor their feelings. So, I just want to share what I've learned in my work as an adult child or a survivor is this. What we learned, the subliminal messages that all of us received are: it's not safe to talk, to trust, and to feel. If you could just remember that and do the opposite, practice every day, just talking a little bit, just speaking up, you know, practicing healthy, safe boundaries with other people, saying no sometimes, but maybe kindly instead of aggressively. So if you could practice that, like speaking up and then trusting your feelings, even knowing what your feelings are, because we're so numb and frozen, because we don't want to feel them. They're too painful to feel all that pain again and again and again, like ripping off that band-aid from that old wound or scar. So instead, we could just trust our feelings. But first, we have to identify what the heck we're even feeling, right? And so there
Yeah.
are ways to do that. That's why this course that's coming up will provide an emotions wheel. And there are probably hundreds of emotions that we don't even know are living in our cells and our bodies, right? So it's important to name it, to claim it, to say it, and to share it, and to tell one other person, pick up the phone, join a Facebook community like we're doing now, or a support group that I'll be running shortly next month. So I hope that that is helpful, Virginia, for you and everyone who's listening to these words.
It is. It's very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. And it's not going to happen overnight. Yeah. Hi, Steve. Hello.
It's I don't know where that little.
It's right there.
Oh, I think somebody is unmuted. So if you don't want to say anything right now, if you don't mind, if there's background noise, to just mute your mic on Zoom, that would be great. Zach, do you want to say anything or share any insights that have come up while I was rambling on for the last few minutes?
Oh, it was beautiful. I'm just glad to see you all here. Like, I am so glad to have all this connection and feel you in the field. It feels we're all going through it. A lot of energy is moving. I'm burping like crazy. I definitely feel it. And it's really, I want to really affirm how hard it is to get into community in any capacity when you're really feeling low.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say how grateful I am that you guys are here at any capacity you're able to be at. And just really in the intention to be like, I want to connect. I want to give people the opportunity to see me. And yes, Virginia, whoever's got on the phone, and let the energy move, because sometimes isolation is it's a difficult habit to work with, because ironically, the very thing we're often looking for is. Oh, Destiny, you have your hand up?
Get out.
I was going to mention
Noise.
right now, I cleared a child part yesterday that went to heaven, and then another one came out. And today I'm feeling this. I'm feeling like a childlike aspect within and around me, but I'm not liking what it's running, like what it's doing. It's feeling like okay, you're mentioning all these aspects about empaths and whatnot, and it's like if I agree to it, then it's automatically taking it on, and then I'm feeling something inside of my body pulling and tugging, and I'm not liking this, because you know what, if I do agree with something, I don't expect to be playing it out. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's trying to be playing out inside of my body, and I do not consent to that. You know what I mean?
So tell that part of you that is
Cut it
pulling
out.
and tugging on you to step back. That
Well,
you're
I
in
don't know if it's-
charge.
I
You're
don't know if
your
that's-
own loving parent, and you don't have to identify what that part is. But we have these protector parts and also these manager parts that try to keep it all together so we feel okay and we can make it through another day. So just tell those parts of you right now, you know, just to step back, that you're in charge. You've got this now, that you're okay.
I'm
and
not
that
sure
you're
that's what it is. It's feeling like something outside of me. like it's on the left side right here. And it's just like, okay. And then my child part's over here. And this thing's just kind of like, and I'm like, damn, I'm like standing here trying to be still and listen to this. And it's hard because all this is going on inside of my body. And I'm trying
So
to
just change where you're standing and just leave that area right now. And just do that and go outside for a minute if you can. And we're going to do a little clearing. Oh, you are excited. Okay. So Zach and I are going to do a little clearing in the background, but we're still going to be speaking and walking you through this. So we're just going to do an energetic clearing, a space clearing, because and we're going to just ask all of those energies or entities to make sure that they back off and they step out from your property and your home right now and your field. Really nice. So let's just do that right now for a moment. We're just going to do that silently. Zach, is that okay with you? Let's do a little energy work here. Good.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little clearing and ask like whichever parts that actually might mean well, but feel maybe scary or threatening or off-putting, to just give you space and to back slowly out and away from your body, your cells, and your home environment, your castle. So just take a minute. Take a minute and let them leave right now. And just keep breathing because you're not breathing. You got to really take some nice 3 deep, full, and slow breaths. And just place one hand over your heart and the other hand over your stomach or your womb. That's the center of your feelings, where you've stuffed all of these fears that are actually now forming, manifesting, or it feels like they are. And breathe out longer with the exhalation, fuller, slower, longer through your mouth. So just keep doing that 3 times. I'm going to say Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Forgive me. I forgive you. Let's please forgive ourselves and each other. And just call in your higher self and your higher power to take care of it for you. Your loving parent, the one that's in charge, and everyone else that's with you inside or around you needs to go sit in the back seat or leave your area immediately.
Get out.
All the trespassers, and send them love though at the same time. Don't fight them.
I forgive you.
You want to feed those demons. You don't want to fight them, because then they'll come back even more. So just say thank you. Thank you. I know you're trying to maybe protect me in some way, but you're no longer needed. I'm my own loving parent now. My inner child is safe. My inner teen is safe. All is well.
Safe.
And then let me know when it feels more spacious. Go ahead and stretch out your arms and just expand your field, and just feel that it's just you here on your property, you and the trees, you and the flowers, you and the sun, the clouds, that you are, everything. You're all that you need. You don't need to have anyone else around you right now. You have everything you need inside of you. How does it feel now?
I can breathe a little better.
Yay. You have to remember that first of all, when you place your hand over your heart, especially for an intuitive empath that's so sensitive, because it's not just you, like, oh, you're so sensitive, or you were such a sensitive child. It's your nervous system, right? It's your nervous system. So that's why, all the adrenaline, like the fight, the flight, the freeze, the shutdown, it keeps happening in the background. So we want to move into your parasympathetic rest, digest. In this moment, everything is okay. I am safe in this moment. I'm not in the past anymore. I don't have to relive what happened, right? And I'm not in the future and like, oh my God, what if they come back? Can you allow yourself to just relax in this present moment?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all you need. Now I invite you and everyone else that's listening to just invite who you want to attend this Facebook Live with. Who are your invisible friends? Your angels, your guardians, your spirit guides, your totems, the fairies,
Yeah.
like all of these beautiful elemental beings, and ask them to ground you and to encircle you in this field of divine protection so that you're back in your body, feel your feet, but you're also connected to all of these helper beings, these helpful beings, these spirits in other dimensions that are overlighting you, that want to help you, that are always available, but you can't see them because you're stuck in the past. So come into your body, to the center of your body, and just ask them to just gather around you and surround you in this kind of warm blanket, this cloak of protection, or this energy shield, maybe a safety net that wraps around your feet and your lower bodies. And just feel that you're right here. You're back in your body. How does it feel now?
Oh, I'm grateful that you gave me those tips. I'm grateful because you're right. It feels like the lower body is what it's kind of giving me the problem too.
And let's invite the protectors of the land, the spirits, the ancestors of the land that you're standing on, and even the ones in the inner earth that are just holding you up and supporting you and grounding you and just keeping you alive and present, and ask them to feed you with, more nourishment or whatever it is that's missing. And also just make sure that you're sitting in the driver's seat. Good. Thank you. This was pretty awesome. I'm really glad that you're back and feel safe in your body. Yay. How is everyone feeling? Any comments, or would anyone like to share? Zachary, how are you doing over there?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm so grateful you shared Destiny, because that work is relevant for all of us, that inner child work. It's so important. And I'm so grateful you had the courage to put your hand up and, claim that for yourself and reclaim it.
That's awesome. Thank you, Destiny. So, why don't we just talk a little bit about the show coming up, and then maybe I'll close with a little grounding meditation for that every empath can really kind of take advantage of, especially when you feel like someone or something is pulling on your energy, pulling you down or pulling you up out of your body. I think that would be a really nice, safe way to close this session today. So yeah,
Oh,
tell us what's
definitely.
coming up.
So I have a free online virtual retreat called the Sovereign Empath coming up on June 20th. If you guys are interested, everything that went on in this call today is all about sovereignty as an empath. And there'll be 7 speakers, and it's free, and it has a replay period of 6 days after the 20th. So you have plenty of time to watch all the interviews. And Vandana is a speaker on the event, and there's lots of iconic speakers with lots of different information and channels and nourishment. So if you are interested, definitely head over and sign up. There will be a link somewhere. We'll post it in the Facebook live. Or also I could post it here in the chat below if you haven't already signed up. Interested? Yes. Okay. Love that. I'll post it in the chat, Destiny, so you can have it. And we can start the little.
I just want to shout out to Victor, who I see joined us. I'm not sure when. Oh, I see 11. Yeah, maybe a few minutes ago. So welcome, Victor. Would you like to say hello and unmute your mic? And we'd love to get to know you. And if you want to just say hi, you can do that. But no pressure. You don't have to, of course.
He may have hopped off. I think he might have hopped off.
Did he? Oh, okay. I didn't.
It's okay.
Okay, awesome. He said something about breathing. Interesting. Help me breathe longer. And I wonder if that was after the session, the breath work, or before.
I think
Probably
it was
after.
during. I think it was
It was
during when you were doing the
during,
work. Yeah.
yeah. And you know, that is a good, I'm really glad that I caught that comment, because we do have our inner judge or inner critic, inner critical parent is, or this, I call her like the censor, that she's kind of like, she means well, and she's always wanted to keep me safe and protect me, you know, from saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing or getting hurt, or having somebody get angry at me, or just like being perfect. As an empath, we are perfectionists, we're people pleasers, we crave that external validation, right? So but the thing is, we need to give that to ourselves as we learn how to become our own loving parent. And I know it's not easy. If we never had one, how would we even know where to begin? But that's why I'm saying it's a process, and I can show you how to do that as we gather together in community, and it is possible. And there's no other way. There are no shortcuts. I just want to also bring that in, Zach, that there's no spiritual I mean, there is such a thing as spiritual bypassing, but that's just going to take you on a detour. And then when you come back, it's like, oh, the scary monsters are still trying to get me. Like, they're still in the dark alley, like when I turn out the lights and I go to sleep. So there are no shortcuts. Spiritual bypassing is basically escapism. It's like it feels good temporarily, but then you can crash even more when you return back to this land, this reality, and this body. So that's why we just do the inner work. We support each other. We got each other's back, right? And it is possible, and change is possible. Healing is always possible, right? So it's like never give up. That's kind of like one of my favorite slogans. So so yeah, and then the course that's coming up will be in July. I think we're gonna just send it to you, the people that sign up for the course, because I mean, for this Facebook Live, not everyone was able to hop on the live Facebook Live today, which is fine. But we have a bunch more people. I think at least 40 or 50 more people that we'll send a special free gift to for signing up, right? And also this course that I'm going to be teaching, which is all about holding a safe space for you and each other. And I won't go into too many details about it, but being an empath, I think everyone is very well aware that we tend to attract the archetype or the persona of what's known as a narcissist. Many of us are raised by one or both parents who might not have ever gotten a specific diagnosis, but they might not have been full on narcissist as far as their personality, but they had aspects of it in their behavioral tendencies, right? So narcissistic behavior is a spectrum, just like autism is a spectrum, just like everything is a spectrum. So if you want to learn how to manage those relationships, those energy vampires or drainers that tend to make your energy kind of leak away, and make you go and want to feel like you just want to close yourself in a dark room and never come out, that it's safer hiding under your blanket. That's why we want to see you. We don't want that to happen to you, right? We want to help you to learn tools and techniques, put more and more into this medicine bag, into your medicine kit, so you can use them and call upon them when, like what Destiny was experiencing, when you have those sort of moments where it feels really overwhelming, to be that conscious and aware of what's happening. And tools like, is this mine or is this somebody else's? So all of these tools will be revealed in this 4-week support system, this support group, this coaching program. So I hope you'll join that. And there's so much more I can say about it. But Zach is going to send you the email with the links for it to sign up and grab your seat. And I'm also offering a payment plan. If you may have financial challenges, then I don't ever want that to prevent someone from getting the help that they need. And if you think about a therapist, like a trauma therapist or a psychotherapist, they probably charge about 300 and up for one session. And this is going to be around there, a little bit less than that for 4 weeks. And the other route would be, prescription medication. And I won't even get into that topic, but that's like a whole nother ballgame. The thing is, we want to learn how to handle our emotions, no matter how difficult they may feel, to embrace them, to breathe through them, and to sit with them and talk to them and understand those parts and reparent those parts, right? And not fight them or push them away, stuff them with addictions, or deny them. So I think this course is extremely crucial. And to help you all feel like really like sort of normalize your experience, but also to feel some joy and to discover your gifts and to reward yourself for feeling that strong and that brave and courageous, because you're all still here, and that's a good thing, right? So yeah, awesome. So shall we close the session today? Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Because I can go on and on. So find yourself a comfortable position, and like the most comfortable position in your body, and just allow yourself to just check in, like what's happening, and just feel where there's some tension, maybe your back, your neck, and just rub your hands together, warm them up, and place them over your heart, or maybe that Reiki universal position. Just draw a little power symbol on over your heart chakra and over your solar plexus or your womb, and just breathing into all your feelings, whatever it is, just releasing it on the out breath. You don't have to like judge how deep, how full, how long, how smooth your breaths, your in breaths and out breaths are. Just saying on the in breath, I'm aware that I'm here. On the out breath, I've arrived. I'm home. I'm home in my own body. I feel kind of more safe and more cozy in my own body. And just check in, especially if you just experienced maybe a particularly challenging situation with a person, a place, a situation. Just use this tool, use this meditation, listen to the replay to clear up the energy between you and whatever it is, whatever that thing is, whatever that energy is that you're battling with, that you're struggling with. So let's begin. Close your eyes if you'd like to, or you could just kind of gaze down at your feet, or maybe connect to a really loving figure. Maybe there's a beautiful painting or a statue or a photograph that you could just connect with, maybe of a Buddha or an angel or an ascended master. Just connect with that loving, benevolent, kind figure, feeling the breath rising up to energize you, but then filling up your belly as you exhale out all the difficult feelings, toxins. And just imagine your field your entire being, including your body and the space around you, and let yourself just open up a little bit more. Really relax and rest. Open up to whatever color you might be. If you could now turn into a color, notice what color your energy or your being would be. Maybe it's a combination of colors or rainbows. To see if there's like an essential color, like your soul color that you could see right now or imagine. And it's going to be different from day to day, moment to moment. Now just picture a person now that you've identified this, your favorite color, and feel that essence just wrapping around you, and breathe that color into your cells, into your muscles and organs, every tissue in your body, your skin, your chakras. Now picture a person that you've been in touch with maybe today or yesterday or over the last week, or if you have a sense of where your energy is gone, or if you're holding on to someone else's energy, just picture that person. If you're unsure of whose energy you may be holding or whose energy you absorb, just begin to picture someone that this energy belongs to, and grounding into your body, not leaving it, just staying right where you are. And as you picture that person or a group of people, see if you could sense whatever color they might be, if they had a color. Doesn't matter. There's no right, wrong here. Just trust your intuition as an energy sensitive empath and feel into that impression, the first impression that you get. What color are they? And now notice, coming back to yourself, where there's any color that belongs to this other person or group of people. And picture where that is in your body, how much space it's actually taking up. So allow yourself in this moment to feel everything. No labeling, no censoring, no good or bad emotions, just emotions, energies in motion. What does this feel like in your body? And with your breath now, to help it along, go ahead and see if you could send this energy back to whoever it belongs to, wherever it belongs, and watch it release from your body, moving it out with your hands, directing that energy out and away from the totality of your mind and your body, and just sending it back to source. Could try releasing this energy into the universe and just let it kind of dissolve and fade away into nothingness or into a honey nectar. So allow this big energy to become really soft and small until it dissolves into thin air. And notice as you're resting in this peaceful sensation, which is the opposite of what you were feeling. It's your energy. Notice this emotion or sensation. They're just sensations bubbling up, whatever it is that you feel inside, releasing any energy that belongs to these people or this place or this land, sending it back to where it belongs, but also understanding the lessons, understanding what you've learned about yourself. And now sense into the other person or the people you're noticing. Look for where they're holding your color, your signature, your energetic frequency. Sense where it is inside of them or around them, or where you left those pieces and fragments of you. And now using your breath to support you, breathe your own energy back into your body, taking it back, reclaiming it, recollecting it, and pulling it into your nervous system, back into your field, your aura, back into your bones, your blood, your cells, back into your space and your being. Take a moment to just feel all of this energy that is yours, that it's all coming back home to you, all rejoining you, all merging with you. Keep breathing it back in, those power parts, those gifts, those strengths, those talents, those blessings. And notice now what sensations you're experiencing in your body, what's happening, whether it's a tingling, whether it's a sense of grief, tension, release, fullness, whatever it is. Just get curious about whatever it is that you're feeling inside and trust everything's okay, that this too shall pass. Whatever, however this process is for you, just checking in until you feel back home in your own body. You've received every inch of energy back, every part of you back, and pull it into your crown, into your throat, into your heart, into your gut, just trusting all of these parts of you that you've been denying, numbing, or stuffing. Trusting your gut, trusting your heart, speaking your mind, speaking your truth, reclaiming it all. And just breathe now into your feet as we come back into this safe space, grounding into the earth, the new earth grid, feeling rejuvenated, refreshed, alert, just different, more like yourself again. Feeling the way you choose to feel, joyful, peaceful, content, for no particular reason, because it is your birthright as an empath. So coming back to this really honoring space, this healing space, and the healing space that is your body temple. And then taking your hands, rubbing them together, your healing hands, and just brushing yourself off, brushing off any resistance to this process, just kind of flicking off any unwanted energy, shaking it out, and then coming back to your heart, to your center. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Good. So, how is everyone feeling? Zachary, how are you feeling?
That was powerful. I feel very, very clear.
Uh-huh. Awesome. Good. Beautiful. So, I think we've reached the end of our session. We went over by about, oh, actually, we didn't go over. We're like really exactly where we need to be because I said it ended at 12:11. We started 11:11. So, are there any comments from anyone, or are we feeling so like kind of spaced out right now that we can't even put two words together? If that's the case, it's okay. Maybe some of you have zoned out or fallen asleep, and that's what's great about having replays. So, Zach, I'm going to send you the recording. Maybe we'll
Yes.
edit it a little bit. And I think by tomorrow it'll be ready, or maybe even later tonight. So I'll have my assistant start editing the replay. We'll send you your free gift, whoever signed up. Those of you that haven't been able to join us today, and those of you that are here with us, I hope everyone is feeling more than like themselves again, more like your original, authentic, true self. And that's why we've gathered here together. So congratulate yourself for making the time and carving out the space for you and your inner child. Thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys. I'm so grateful for this time together. It's helped me learn and to understand a lot more. But what I am noticing is it's like we'll do it. And then it's like I don't know if this is what it is, but it's like it tries to come back, the same stuff. So what do you do when that does? Just say that's dissolved or
Well,
It
what
sounds
you
like
could do
fun.
is you could rich it if you feel like it's coming back. You know, the rich clearing codes are still as powerful as ever. You could rich return it, you could rich release it, and then that'll just pop you back into your body.
rich release
Um,
it, rich.
yeah, you just say rich release, rich return, rich that, rich whatever it is that feels like it's not a part of me, right? That's clinging to me.
Right.
Um, rich, rich the fear, you know, because breathe into the sensation. That's why it's important for you to identify what you're feeling, to claim it. Remember, name it, claim it. For me, it feels like the core emotion, the core wound
Yeah.
is the core impact from maybe 3 years old or back in the womb is fear. And that fear you took on even in the womb from your birth mother and your ancestors. So just identify, oh, what am I feeling? It's fear.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing to fear because it's what would you want to replace fear with? Love. There's either fear or love. They can't coexist together. So do something loving for yourself in that moment. When you feel that sense, that old friend, and make fear your friend, not your enemy. Nothing can overpower you or hurt you
So
unless you allow it.
I could say rich fear release.
Yeah, that sounds great. Make up your own kind of mantra and play with those tools and see what works and what doesn't work.
That's a
You're
good.
in charge here. You're the one that is um, able to do it. No one can really tell you exactly how to do you. And no one should. These are just suggestions.
No, I like that. Thank you.
Good.
I think that probably helped more people on here too. So that's
I
cool.
hope so. I mean, that's why I'm here. So that's kind of like my greatest wish. And that's why we're doing this to support the empaths in the world that are locking themselves up, shutting themselves down, or just in hiding. Yeah. So thank you again. I think we should just
Oh, I love
say
you
thank you
guys.
and goodbye for now.
Oh,
And
mwah.
well, bye for now until we meet again. So, and thank
Thank
you,
you.
Zachary,
You're
for
welcome.
being such a good friend and support system, and for inviting me to be on your show.
Of
And
course.
I
You're
love playing
welcome.
with you. And I'm really grateful for this wonderful opportunity to reach even more people all over the planet.
Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you, Desi. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you for all the viewers on the call. We love you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye. Have
Bye
a
for
good
now.
day.
Bye for now.